the camera underneath here and engage the blade, and you guys tell me what you see. May not even need to engage it. Maybe some. Oh my goodness, the blade's gone. That's why. Contact. Contact. Are you kidding me? Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another gorgeous day here on the Stoney Ridge Farm. We got a new four-wheeler on the farm. It's not mine. We're going to do a review on it. Stay tuned. This is the new Honda Rubicon 700. Stay tuned. Future full video coming out on that. What we're going to be doing today is pushing back pasture. We're going to go up and grab the Ventrac after we feed the cows here, and we're going to get back in here and we're going to be mowing back pasture. So you'll get a little better feel for what we're going to do. I'm going to ride around the farm and show you guys what's up, and then we're going to take the Ventrac and put it to work in the brush where it really shines. So let's get these cows fed, and we'll take you over on the other side of the farm here and show you what we're doing. A spot that needs some love. You can tell by what you're seeing right here, this is all overgrown. There's briars and blackberries, all kinds of brambles and stuff in here, multiflora rose. There's a big old log in here. There's just brush that's starting to try and take back the farm. This extends all the way in there. You'll see a little pine tree back there. It's probably a good half an acre right here that needs attention. Now, I can't mow every bit of this with the Ventrac. Some of this stuff is just too big and I'll have to come in behind the Ventrac and use the saw. But this time of year, I guess this is a good reminder to everybody, you can see the ground. When this is all fully flushed out, you can't see the ground and you can't see stuff like that rock hiding in there. And there's some more rocks hiding back in here. So what I'm gonna do is come in and we're just gonna start mopping this up with the tough cut deck on the Ventrac, and we're gonna mop this up right here. And let me take you on the edges of some of these pastures real quick and show you. You won't see everything that gets done on the farm today because I'm just gonna make a video of doing a smaller portion of the job, and then I'm gonna spend about 10 hours over the next 3 days going back in and trimming up the edges of pastures. Cluster of trees right in here that need to go, and you can see there's a bunch of big rocks. There used to be a great big stump right there, and I got it up with a skid loader and burned it, but what came in its place is brush. And these are gum trees, those trees that have the little gum balls on them. Not good trees. More in here that needs to be got up. Right in there needs to be gotten. Back here, all this stuff on the edge. Look at this mess. We got a mess, real mess. Wild turkeys, yeah baby, there you go. We got a huge mess in here. It needs to be cleaned up. This is all growing back from when I cleared the land a few years back here, and it all needs to be taken care of. So this is probably a 4-hour job right here, and I don't want to take my big tractor in there because I could get stuck. The cool thing about having a Ventrac is that it doesn't get stuck as easy as a big, heavy 10,000 pound tractor. It has a very, very light footprint, which is super important. As we cruise along the edge of some of these fields, you'll see. Perfect example, perfect. It couldn't be more textbook. On the edges of most of my pastures and fields, what happens is this. Overgrowth. So no matter what, you're trying to compete with nature, and nature is always going to win when you try to compete with them. This has to go. So we have to constantly be cutting back away from the edges of our roadways and the edges of our pastures. You can see right over in here, this is all multi-floor rows. Now we are within about 50 feet of the creek right here, and I don't like to disturb that. However, if it's multi-floor rows, that's my farm's ultimate enemy, and we're gonna take it out. See these little saplings right in here? All these need to go. All that stuff needs to go. So we're gonna just hop on the Ventrac, drive on over here, and just start whipping it out, knocking out the job. There is a lot of work to get done, and I gotta remember, I tied some ribbon around some trees in here because I planted some dwarf mulberry down on this creek bottom, and I want to make sure it's good. At some point, we're going to get back in here and we're going to be forestry mulching this entire area, and this is going to be where the hog pen is on the Stoney Ridge Farm. I don't want my pigs right up next to my house. They, you know, inevitably they have a pig smell, and flies. So when you got a brightly colored house and you got flies close by, they all gravitate towards that house. So the pigs are going to be right down in here, and hopefully my plan is to build my sawmill shed right in here as well. This is just a fun time of year that I can get in and I can actually get work like this done and get things cleaned up before everything grows out and I start hitting rocks and destroying my equipment. Let's go grab the Ventrac. Contact. Before we head all the way down there, let me show you what we're working with. This is a Ventrac tractor. If you never heard of one of these, this is Ventrac, made by Venture Products. It's an American-made machine with a Kubota engine. It's made in Orrville, Ohio. Really cool articulating tractor. I've got about 600 hours on this machine. The only issue I've ever had with it was fuel, bad fuel. That was the only issue I've ever had with it, aside from I break things. And I break things because I be hitting rocks. This is called the Tough Cut deck. It's basically a bush hog type deck, or a brush hog type deck. It's belt driven right here, so if you hit something really hard, the belt will slip. It's not a shaft drive. And underneath here, we've got some heavy duty blades, 3 of them, okay? 2 of the blades spin one direction and 1 blade spins the other direction. So as you mow, you're knocking it down and you're chewing it up, okay? Is this the right machine for mowing pastures, grass? I don't think so. I honestly don't think it's the best machine for mowing grass. I like a rotary cutter like the Batwing that's over there, but I utilize this machine. You have to go a little slower on grass. I utilize it to make the first round around my pastures before I hop on the big Batwing. Now, I could do some of this work with the Batwing, but that big tractor, getting it into tight spots, that is a real booger. So let's hop on this guy and run down there next to the house and get busy. You're gonna be so surprised at how well this thing really shines in a brushy situation. Contact. Clear prop. Wrong button. There we go. Guys and gals, thanks so much for joining me here on the Stoney Ridge Farm today. We're gonna get started right up here by the house. There is a thicket that's developing right outside my office window here. And you can tell these are just gum trees, basically, that continually sprout up. They are weeds. They will keep coming back and keep coming back year after year after year, so I've got to keep them mowed. You're gonna get a cool little shot of me just mopping this up. It doesn't take very long with this Ventrac, as long as I don't break it by hitting a stinking rock. And there are a lot of rocks on this farm. Broke the Ventrac. Again. Again! Really? Again? Let me show you guys. Let me put my earplugs up. This went from a getting the job done, which, man, I really accomplished a lot in 10 minutes here. You guys are gonna love what I've accomplished, but also what I accomplished was something stupid. We'll come back to the stupid part. This is what you just saw me go through with that tough cut deck. Man, it kicked butt. Fantastic job right here, guys. I couldn't get into here as good as I wanted to because I broke the Ventrac. So, you know, when you put a piece of equipment like this through things that it probably, I don't want to say it shouldn't be put through because this is what it's designed for, but when you use stuff like this, you're gonna break stuff once in a while. Let's walk over here and show you. So here is part of the Ventrac. This is a bearing that's gone bad, and that goes right there. Well, that obviously doesn't go right there right now. I thought I might be able to repair it because the nut should be up in here. So we're gonna have to take this up to the shop. It's not cutting like it was either. I'm gonna lay this up here real quick. I hit it with the mowing deck right there. So I'm pretty sure I can grind that off and I can reuse this part, but I nailed it with the mowing deck there and there. And well, let's get her up to the shop where we can lay down on the concrete or maybe even put it on the lift and see what we got going. It's cutting on this blade, but these blades are not cutting. So I'm only cutting a swath about 1/3 of the width of the deck. But man, look, when it's working, what a great job. Let me show you the way it's cutting right now. So it's just cutting, as I came down through here, it's just cutting with one portion of the deck. That's where it cut and that's where it did, and it should be cutting all the way through. Looks great. Broken, not great. So I got her up on the ramps right here. I'm gonna set the camera underneath here and engage the blade, and you guys tell me what you see. May not even need to engage it. Maybe some. Oh my goodness, the blade's gone. That's why. It sheared the bolt off. Ah. Well, that makes sense. We got work ahead of us. We got a little bit of work. Sit her down, Buford. She's sucking mud. Look, how does this happen? I mean, what can you do? You can't cry. You just have to laugh. What had happened was this fell through. The entire bolt and everything fell through right here. And let's just check this one, see if it's got any play. No play here, spins freely, does great. Bearing failed here. This dropped off, fell under the mower, and the blade hit it so hard right there that it broke under here. Oh, it broke the blade off. Right there. Totally broke it off. No wonder we're not getting any type of cutting done here. That blade is gone, baby. It's just gone. What a bummer. Now that is a first ever with this machine. I've had this machine for a long time, never had that happen. I think first thing we got to do is ride back down there and find that blade, don't you? Clear prop. Whoop. Clear prop. Reverse. This is another project you're gonna see in a future video. It's washing out really bad right there, and I gotta take care of that. We gotta get some erosion control in there. I'd imagine that blade jumped off right where I whacked that wheel, so let's figure that out. Oh, here we are. Wow, dude. Oh. Look at that, man. All right, where's the other part? Oh, what else we got? Oh, there's the bolt, and there's one more part. We don't need no stick. The other part's metal. I should be able to hear it as I drag through here. I ain't never in all my daggum days seen nothing like that happen. It didn't, you know, most of the time when I break something, it's because I hit a stump or I hit a rock, not I hit my own piece of equipment. Man. This must have been, I don't know, I don't see how it could shatter like that, but maybe it did. Let me dig around here again and see if I can find, there's one more little piece. It looks like a little metal wing. Drag that metal part through there and see if we hear it. Man, that metal piece could be somewhere a half a mile from here. Got whacked with the mower. Ugh. Back to the shop. Stoney Ridge, known for breaking stuff. Look at that. Let's analyze what we got here. So the blade is bent. It's bent like that. I guess that's concave. You can really tell it right there. It's just bent. It slopes that way and slopes this way. So this blade could be used again. It's not that big a deal. This is where it gouged out a chunk of the blade. You can see how much of a chunk it gouged out when it hit that wheel swivel. And then this, which never would have broken if it were tight. However, you can see on the threads here that it was not tight. It wallowed out because it wasn't tight. I'm at my wit's end. If this was loose, it should be easy to get the bolt out of there. I got to get some jack stands underneath this thing, and let's all go underneath and see if we can maybe get that bolt out. Maybe that bolt was loose. Fingers crossed I can just get it out, go buy a new bolt, pop it in. I probably already have the part. I just bought these and I'm excited to use them. These are low profile jack stand. I'll post a link for you guys in the video description. I'm always needing a low profile jack stand and never can find one. So that's what this is. Pop the pin out. I think every shop needs a good low profile jack stand like that. Let's get under here. I want every one of you guys to cross your fingers. I know you're watching it after I do the repair. I don't think I'm gonna be able to fix this today. Oh, but fingers crossed that that is loose. Gosh. Sheared right off. Right there. That's a booger right there. I think it is loose. Here's the question, is it a lefty-loosey, righty-tighty, or is it reverse threaded? That's a righty-tighty. One of these is reverse threaded, so thank goodness we got lefty-loosey, righty-tighties. I'm not confused on that. Oh man, oh man. It seems like, hear that? That seems loose. I'm gonna get a metal sliver in my finger. Oh. Let's get some goodies here. I think maybe a magnet. If it's loose, it'll just spin right out. And some rubber gloves. Ow! Did I already get a metal sliver? Get off my finger, fool! We're gonna take a quick look at what we have here in the bearing department. So let's get this thing in the vise. Neat! Bye! Roll to China, bro! Alright, there's the through axle. On that. That guy. I'd have thought it'd been a little more complex than that, but it wasn't. I think the first thing I'm gonna do is put this in the vise and knock these burrs off. You see it already ripped a hole in my glove. It's gonna rip a hole in my skin if I don't do that first. Let's get that rocking. All right, rotate. Oh, this might have to be totally replaced. Oh man, it hit it twice, once there and once here. Gee, I say we get all the grease off this bearing first and let's see what the heck happened. There's no bearing left. There's just a race left in there. Always keep those Ziploc baggies like this in your shop. They're super handy to have all the time. I'm gonna put my shades on just in case something goes flying here, but I think we could just have a nut and a washer. Yep. Looks like to me, maybe this washer is worn down. And that's why it fell through. This should not have fallen off. It should get loose. And if it gets loose, you should be able to tighten it, but it should not have fallen completely off. That's what has me very, very confused. Let's wipe all this off before I put it in my Ziploc baggie. There you go. Okay. Ooh. Bearing part. Bearing part where the ball bearings hide. I think this is called the bearing race. Oh, it's broken. It's in a couple pieces. And the bottom portion of the bearing and another bearing race. So there's 2 bearings in here that have gone to kaput. And yep, another bearing housing and another bearing race. Let's see what these look like. The other bearing race is completely shattered. That's probably why it came apart. And I'm guessing I dropped that. So there'd be a bearing about that big that slips over this bolt right here and rides on that bolt. We only need threads and about the top portion right here. The threads are wallowed a bit where this other bearing race, I think you call it the race, is busted. So that's the broken one and that's the good one. The broken one was riding right here. I can't even get it back on. It was riding right here and it was wallowing, wallow, 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 wallow. So, garbage. Pretty sure we can reuse this part. This would probably be a very expensive part from Ventrac. I want to make it clear that this is not Ventrac's fault. This is just wear and tear on equipment, and that's all it is to it. I'm going to dress this up a little bit so I don't get cut. Looking down this, am I seeing something that is in disrepair? And the answer is no, but God, look at the gouge this thing put. It actually hit it 3 times. Once the first chop, the second chop, and the third chop. Whack, whack, whack. I didn't even notice there's another washer right here. Cool. Be smart, Josh. Wipe it off. Put it in your baggie. Look at that burr right there. Go! Man, that is a gouge, buddy. If you nick yourself with something like this and it's been in metal, you can get a nasty infection. So scrub, 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 scrub. Got some tub of towels on this. Just giving a good deep scrub and let that dry before I slip my gloves back on. Clean it, clean, clean, clean. It got my knuckle and it's a clean wound now and I'm not worried about it. But if I would have left it alone, odds are I'd have an infection. Ask me how I know. I was sanding on an old car probably 15 years ago, right on my arm right here, and I got a bloodstream infection from it. So note to self, guys, just remember that. It's important. Keep yourself protected. I know we all think we're tough as nails, but you can get hurt in ways that you don't even think of sometimes. We're gonna leave you behind for a minute, and I went on and got my Milwaukee air pump. I got 2 PSI in this tire. I want to get her on up to about 12. Next question is, what happened in here? We're gonna pop both caps off and discover what the heck went on here. I know I've been lubricating it appropriately, but this one took a beating. Should be able to take my little pry bar here. Come on off there, Billy. There we go. Okay, a little rust in there. Set that guy there, and this is what we have. Okay. Right inside here, you guys will see a retaining ring in there. That is not appropriate. It's all flopping around in there loose. I think that is a snap ring that holds everything in place. So the snap ring must have broken in there. Otherwise, you can see it right there. It's in multiple pieces. Let's pop the cover off this one, just take a peek in there. I bet you it's so full of grease, it ain't no getting into it, but we're gonna get into it. We're gonna take it apart and clean it. Might as well. Oh, there we go. Okay, grease cup off. Nice little cap, same as the other. Can see what it's supposed to look like down in there. Do we have any play? No play. That's a little tidy, loosey. Should come on loose there. Yeah. Shouldn't be super tight because we don't want to overload the bearings and squish them, which may have been what happened with the last one. All right, nut and washer. Should be able to drop this straight out right now. Yep, there we go. So, does this one look? It's nearly identical to the other one. It does show some wear right there. You see that? That's wear. It's probably not a good thing. But this one isn't a problem. It hasn't been a problem. Set this guy to the side. I may have a set of these somewhere. That would be pretty cool. Let's look inside, deep in the bowels of this hole. Take my finger. See how much of that grease. There's that washer. Need my tool. Right there. Clean him up. In here are the bearings, and it appears that they are pressed, or at least held in with a snap ring. There's two bearings just like the other one. This will give us a number to go off of on our bearing. If I can get it clean. Yep, there's a good number in there. I could probably just order those on the old interwebs. Okay. The question is, are both of these spinning free? The top bearing, I don't know if you guys can see that, this is spinning free. The bottom bearing is not spinning free. So this one's about to fail as well. I think it's cool to see how things work. Let me show you how it works. There's a top bearing right here. Like I said, you see that inner ring? It spins free. Great. There's a bottom bearing. We'll get it from the bottom here. Right in here. It is not. The inner ring is not spinning freely. It's kind of like clunk, 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 clunk as I turn it. The grease fitting for this is situated in between the two bearings right here. And it looks to me like we have two sealed bearings and a grease fitting right here. So the question is, are these sealed bearings? And if they are sealed bearings, then why the heck is there a grease fitting in there? It doesn't make no sense. That don't make no dang on sense at all. We're gonna try to get this bearing out of here, the top bearing and the bottom bearing, and I don't know how to do it. So we're gonna head scratch just for a minute. As I head scratch and try to figure all this out, I do see that the old one right here, this is the one that failed, is gouged right in there. It's got a big gouge in it, and it's gouged right there as well. This part I can buy, and I'll bet you it probably doesn't include the bearing set. I just about bet you. I think that ring goes in between the two bearings. So bearing here, ring, and bearing. Let me scratch my head and see if I can get this other one out. Get out! I'm so glad that I made a deal with myself. Whenever I walk into a hardware store like Lowe's or Home Depot, I buy a tool. That's the deal that I have with myself. Every time I go in, I try and buy a tool. If I do that, then I'll have tools like this thing. This is a set of Vice Grip brand snap ring pliers, and I'm gonna need these today. And if I hadn't gone in and just bought the tool that I thought I might need at some point in the future, then I wouldn't have this. And that's what I need. So I think I can spread that and pull this bearing out. There's the lower bearing. It is out. Thank you. It wasn't pressed in, but buddy, it was tight. See if we can clean it up. It is a sealed bearing. What am I pumping grease into? Am I just pumping grease into nothing? Y'all tell me. Is that not a sealed bearing? It's got a seal there and a seal there. And here's what I was showing you. It's just not smooth. It's a sealed bearing. It's not, there's no grease going into that thing from anywhere else. I do have the numbers on the bearing, so I will use that to order new ones, and I will order 4 new ones. This one's just a little sluggish. The other one is still a little sluggish as well. I didn't want to beat it to death, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my socket, stick it up in here. Nope, I can't do that because that snap ring is in there. I need a smaller socket and an extension. We'll tap that up without beating it to death. I don't want to break it. The birth of a bearing. Whee! Ew, ew. Long life tool preservative. Here's the other bearing. Let me wipe it down real quick. It's a sealed bearing too. I don't... I'm learning. I'm just learning. I think I can just hone out the other piece. I don't want to order a whole new piece just because it's got a little burr in there. I think I can hone it out a little bit. Gives me a reason to buy another tool, one of those little dingleberry hones. I think I may have one in here. So that is the other bearing. And let's see how it's just about as smooth as the first one. So they're both in about the same condition. I think it won't hurt us to just go ahead and replace them all. I mean, we got several years worth of good use out of it. Yes, sir. It's a snap ring right down in there. There's one of the dog ears and another dog ear for the snap ring right in there. You can see it better with my glove in the background. Snap ring, and this one it done snapped off. Next is a snackringectomy, which I think I can just get it with my needle nose on this one. I think this one might be too far gone, man. I don't want to give up. I don't want to buy new parts. I want to be a mechanic. Dang it. You do not want to come out. There you go, Billy. Look at that Billy Bull. Got the doggone snap ring out. It's in a million pieces. That's why it's so hard to get it out. I swear I can't get nothing done. Everything I got breaks. And I wasn't being hard on it, I don't think. What do y'all think? Way cool tool. You mash this button. This keyway comes loose. You slide that out. I'll post a link to this in the video description. You take off the tip for the snap ring that you don't need. Set that down and lose it. And then pop on the new one. Slide that guy back in. And biggity bam, snap ring tool. I need one that squeezes together, not one that goes apart. Biggity bam, I got the wrong snap ring tool. Get on in there, boy. There it is. Oh, I think I need my needle nose now. Oh, baby. Yeah, that was a daggone snackringectomy and a half right there, buddy. Let's get up underneath this thing, see if I can get that bolt out. If I can't get the bolt out, I'm probably gonna have to weld another bolt to that bolt. Washer, snap ring, spacer, bearing, dirty nut. Let's clean that guy. All parts accounted for. I'm gonna show you what I see. This is smooth as silk. Really, really nice. This one is wallowed out and not really, really nice. I don't know if I'll be able to hone that back smooth. Let's get a bearing and see if the bearing will slide in there. If it won't, I'm just gonna order that entire arm and say the mechanic's prayer that it comes with the bearings pre-installed. So let's see. Yeah, it's just really, you can see light around the edge of that bearing. See that? Look at this one. There's no light around the edge of that bearing. Do it again. See how you see light all the way around? You can see my gloves on the outside edge of that bearing. We gotta replace that. We are not gonna be back mowing today. Let's get up under here. See if we can figure this nut situation out. First and foremost, let's just say a prayer and put a magnet on it. Let's see. Mama say, mama say, mama poop. That's my prayer. She broke off in there pretty good. Oh, it's not tight. I just saw it turn. These are always super, super tight. They are a real pain in the butt to get to. And I did just notice something else. The pulley up here above is also broken. We hit that thing hard, man. Really, really hard. Really hard. I still think I see it turning, but man, I don't think it is. So what we're missing is the blade, which you guys have seen. We're missing this piece too. So there's a little flange that keeps the blade from spinning out of control. We're missing that as well. So I'll need to purchase that. To get this guy out, I think I could drill out and then get an easy out in there. So let me see if I have the right tools here and we can get that fixed. If we can, that'd be awesome. Let me also show you the pulley that I broke. Open. Good pulley. Good pulley. Got a wobble in that good pulley. That's not good. That shouldn't be wobbling. And a broken pulley. See that? I keep new pulleys in stock. This one's wobbling. It's as if it's loosened itself up. We'll see if we can snug that down. Come on, snug it down, baby. Oh. Buddy. It's not right. Let's see what we got. Ouch! Fingers, arms, blood everywhere. Off there, Billy. I think that nut is fried. That thing is fried, baby. That is the first time I've ever seen. Look at the smoke coming off of it. It was welded to it. Look at that. Well, this answers my question. I'm just gonna have to put a new spindle in it. And get that nut as well. Baby doll, why are you messing with my heart? What in the world? This is too hot to touch. We got our belt tensioner right here, but easy enough on a Ventrac. So our belt tensioner is right here. We've got to get the belt off so we can remove that pulley. We'll simply pull back on our belt tensioner, hopefully, and we'll get her released. Get our belt off. There we go. Easy enough. There it goes. Awesome. That's still good. That keyway, hang on to that guy. And this is garbage. Got a feeling we're gonna have a wheelbarrow full of parts by the time we get done with this. Need to make sure I remember this part goes down. You see it says TC, tough cut. Okay. Keyway, all this stuff needs to stay with it. I'm gonna leave the nuts and bolts right there. I need to take these 4 bolts off and simply drop out this spindle. I do not have a replacement spindle in stock here on the farm. However, I do have a brand new tough cut pulley to replace this guy. You notice the difference in the pulleys now? This is designed to break away, and there was an issue where they broke a lot. So we're gonna pop this guy off. Should be pretty simple. That's the way it's supposed to go. Yeah, that's right. That's what I'm talking about right there, baby. Slide that guy up. This should slip right off if everything is good. Come on now. There you go. Woo-hoo! Hot damn, boy. See how hard that thing. Yep, that's what happened. The center breaks out. Simple enough. We got a keyway here and there's a key over here. Drop it right on. Tap. Make sure we're in good position. Washer, nut, zip it back on. All right, that's the money shot. This is going to require a lot of movement. Okay, position that guy. Come on. Oh, what just happened? All that jiggling up there? All that jiggling loosened. What broke? That's awesome. Too bad the spindle is messed up. That's cool. There's little hidden gems everywhere, aren't there? To get it, boy. One more. Oh. So what I'm doing here is I'm wedging. It's just me here, right? So I don't have anybody to hold this up top, and it's a through bolt. I will have to have some help to put it back together, but I'm just taking a boxed in wrench and just trying to make do here. So I take my box in and I sit it right on top of my bolt head right there, and I'm trying to get it out. But what's happening is as soon as it engages, it's popping it off. So let me get a socket on that, a better socket, and see if that will get the job done. So the impact is shaking it loose up there. I need to be a little more gentle, hoping that this will work. Oh. I hate you. There's no way for me to reach my arm up and grab that and hold it. I need a vice grip, maybe? Vice grip on there? Vice grip. Bite. Okay. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. There you go. Come on, baby. Hold your mouth right, boy. Oh! Excuse me. one day, everything will go just right. And we'll be able to get our work done. But until that day, we'll call it farming. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Woo! Man, that's what I'm talking about right there, boy. Heck yeah. And we got the spindle out. I would not be replacing, oh, abs. I would not be replacing this spindle had I not had this issue right here. That bolt was welded to that critter right there. Here's the bolt. It was giving me a fit. And it just had a chunk. Look at that chunk out there. Yeah. Anyway, there's your spindle. Well, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, everybody, that is a broken Ventrac, and we didn't get the job done. You can see what a great job it does when it is working. We're just gonna have to wait to see it working in another video. Dang it. It's a beautiful day out here. Spring is in the air, and I got to get this chore done before the leaves start coming out and I can't see what I'm doing and I hit rocks and I really tear stuff up. So we broke the spindle, we broke a blade off, we lost a little U piece. We really didn't break the spindle, the spindle was ruined. We broke a pulley and the wheel. So I gotta buy this part, I gotta buy a spindle, I gotta buy another pulley, so I'll have a backup, and I'll probably buy 2 spindles. So I'm always breaking stuff. Guys, thank you so much for joining me here on the Stoney Ridge Break Stuff Farm. You've been seeing this truck in the background. You guys haven't seen it yet. I'll do a dedicated video to this guy. This is a mechanic special. Pretty cool pickup truck. Thank you. We'll see you next time on the Stoney Ridge. Woo! Come on down to the Stoney Ridge. Bring your wife and bring your kids. We're living life pure and sweet. That's the way it's supposed to be, Stoney Ridge. Wrong button. There we go. Ow! Did I already get a metal sliver? Get off my finger, fool. Neat. Bye. Roll the china, bro. Ew. Ew. Long life tool preservative. I think this one might be too far gone, man. I don't want to give up. I don't want to buy new parts. I want to be a mechanic. You do not want to come out. There you go, Billy. Look at that Billy Bull. Got the doggone snap ring out. I swear I can't get nothing done. Everything I got breaks. Oh, man. Oh, get it on, boy. Come on, here. Get on in there, boy. There it is. Oh, get it now. Get it on. Let's get the impact on it. Let's see what we got. Ouch. Fingers, arms, blood everywhere. That would be pretty cool. Let's look inside, deep in the bowels of this hole. You do not want to come out. There you go, Billy. Look at that Billy Bull. Got the doggone snap ring out. Shut her down, Buford. She's sucking mud.